Okay, so let me brief you this whole Guardian and then I'll come on to the VA and CAS part. Okay,
Okay.
so this is a generic reference of Guardian. Okay, so what we
Okay.
do generally, we install the like Guardian is an agent server architecture based model. Okay, the
Okay.
requirement of Guardian is to check what all DBAs are doing on the database servers, because database servers have all the data of the environment, and like they are doing the every like operations on those sensitive data, which can lead a data leakage from the environment, right? So
Mm-hmm.
uh, this IBM Guardian comes, this IBM comes with a solution that can monitor on real time basis that what DBAs are doing on the database server. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So what we do, like we generally have an agent that is called as an step agent. Actually, it's a bundle. It has multiple components like KTAP, ATAP, step, all those. Like it is a combination of all those things. So it depends on environment, like OS of the server, that what component we supposed to enable. Like for Unix, Linux, we have to enable KTAP to collect the data from kernel level. Then if there is a server which have the encryption as well, then we need to enable ATAP as well. Okay. Similarly, if we have Windows servers, then it comes with a exe, just .exe comes, which directly installs on the database server. Okay. So we
Okay.
are assuming that we have installed those agents with the help of the platform team. Okay. So with this step, we have one more agent that is called as the GIM agent, which is
Mm-hmm.
also a lightweight agent. That's Guardian installation module. The like after version 9.5, this GIM facility comes with this Guardian. So basically, GIM bridges the database server and the appliances of the Guardian. So what we are doing manually on the database server now, GIM provides us facility that we can do all those jobs directly from Guardian in collector or CM onto the database server. All right. So
Sorry, can you just repeat the gym part alone?
okay, so have you seen ever this GIM agent or you worked on this GIM one? If not, then I'll tell you. I'm thinking of that you are aware of it. So what happens like after version 9.5, IBM introduced one more agent utility that is called as GIM, Guardian Installation Module. Okay,
Okay.
so what we do, we install that GIM agent on the database server. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so suppose this is a database server, we install GIM agent with the help of the platform team. Okay,
Okay.
so it again requires a root password. Like when we install the step agent on database server, it requires a root password. Similarly, GIM also requires a root password. Now, what is the benefit of installing GIM agent? So what happens, like if we have a step directly installed on database server, then for multiple tasks, like if I have to restart my agent, if I have to capture some logs from the agent, then I have to connect with the DBA team every time or the
Mm-hmm.
platform team to provide those things. But in
Okay.
case if we have the GIM agent, we can do perform all those functions directly from the CM or from the collector instead of
Okay.
connecting with DBA or the platform team every time. Okay, so
Okay.
that's working of GIM. So it bridges the database servers and the Guardian environment. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
uh, we can install the agents directly with the help of GIM. We can update those agents. We can gather the logs. We can restart. So there are a lot of features that we can do directly instead of asking
Okay.
to DBA or the platform team. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, once agent is installed, so like agent installed, it starts sending data onto the Guardian appliances. Okay. So like we
Okay.
have enabled KTAP, ATAP, or whatever. What it depends on the requirement, right? Once it is done,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it has two IPs. The step has two IPs. The first one have the IP of the collector, and second the IP
Mm-hmm.
of the central manager. See, right now, uh, if I talk about the components of Guardian, so we have game step one side, then we have collector, aggregator, and central manager. I believe that in even in your environment as well, you have the central manager through which you are
Yeah,
centrally
right.
managing.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, right.
So, oh yeah, correct. So what happens like if you managing all those things centrally? So when you install the agent, you gives one IP of the collector, which is the primary appliance responsible for collecting the data. And there is one more IP which is of CMIP, which basically requires to do the like agent, I can say patching things. Okay, if you have to install
Okay.
the agent or you have to upgrade the agent, then all those things can be performed with the help of central manager, right?
Okay. Okay.
Now there is one more component which needs to enable for capturing the database traffic. That is called as the inspection engine. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So again, inspection engine have some configurations. It discovers the instances or the applications running on the database servers. So like there are two ways to find out those instances. Either we can run the command directly from the collector onto the database server, or we can ask the DBAs to provide all those details. Okay. So once inspection engine configured, so then only we will capture those traffic onto the collector. All right. Now the primary job of the collector is to collect the
Yeah.
data from the yep, yep, please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. What's the difference between STAP and inspection engine? Is there any
Oh, okay,
differences?
okay, yeah. So see, step is an agent. Okay, it is an
Okay.
agent, but inspection engine is an configuration. Okay, if you like you have
Okay.
installed the agent, but if you didn't on the button until you on that thing particular thing, you won't capture those traffic. Okay,
Okay. STAP is like
it is a bundle. It's
inspection will
just
be inside. Okay. It's a bundle. Okay. Inspection is a
right,
bundle. Okay.
right. It's just a bundle, but the inspection is the core configuration part through help of which the Guardian will capture the traffic. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now we have collector. So the primary job of collector is to collect data from the database servers, right? So the data collection is the core mechanism of the collector. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
suppose we have collected the logs from servers to the collector. Now it depends that what policy we have configured on collector. Okay.
Okay.
If we don't have any policy, that simply means we are capturing everything whatever is happening on the database server. So that's not a good thing. Okay, that's not a good practice. We are supposed to capture only those things which are required, which are sensitive in nature, which can cause our data leakage in the environment. Right?
Sorry, actually, you're going a bit fast. I'm not able to catch.
Okay.
So you're
Okay.
saying that we are all the traffic which we are collecting from the data servers. If we have policies, means it will just track only that. If the policies are not there, it will track all the data. You're saying.
Right. Right.
And
So
okay, okay.
okay, I'll go a little bit slow now. Okay. So
That thing is, it's actually I moved to testing after my Guardian experience. So
mhm.
again, I just came back now. So I have kind of
Okay.
lagging on my basics also. So when I'm
Okay.
just you're telling, I'm able to catch it. That's it.
Okay. 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 So see, so policy is a main component on collector side, which decides that what type of data, what data we are capturing, we should capture, and what we would dump on either on the database side or on the collector side, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, once we collected the data in collectors, then what we'll do, we moves forward those data onto the aggregator. Now, this is the second layer or the second component of the Guardian. The primary job of the aggregator is to collect data from the collectors. Okay.
Okay.
Now, an aggregator can support up to 10 collector at a time.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the reason like more generally like collector have half of the cores as aggregator have, right? But if still we count 1 to 10, then it's more than the cores of the aggregators, right? They definitely the collectors have more data what aggregator can store. Okay. So
Sorry, I
that
don't understand it.
okay.
The
Okay. So I'm saying like we have 5 collectors reporting to one aggregator, correct?
okay. Okay.
See,
Yeah.
if we have 5 collectors, then definitely five have more space or have more data, which aggregator can't hold in it.
Yes.
Correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we do, like the compression rate goes to 1/10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If we are sending a file of 10 GB from collectors, then in aggregator, it will only have a size of 1 GB. Okay. So that's the mechanism, how aggregator holds the data of the collectors from multiple collectors. Okay.
You're saying that 10 GB we are sending means it will get only 1 GB.
1
You're
GB.
saying
Yeah.
that.
It will be compressed up to 1 GB.
Okay. Compressing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the process that how aggregator stores bulk of data from the collectors. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the aggregator have two roles. The first one, the primary job is to collect data from the collectors, and second one is to process those data and generate and produce the useful reports or the customized reports from those captured data. All right.
Okay.
Now, uh, again, it depends from organization to organization that if they want to procure aggregator or not. If the environment is small, then you can have only collectors and the central manager. All right.
Okay.
But if your environment is big, it is like it is an enterprise environment, then definitely you need the aggregators, because if environment is small, so you have hardly 4 or 5 collectors. So a central manager can hold up to that level of collectors. But if you
Okay.
have 15 or 20, or your environment is like that, the collectors or the database servers are reported distributed continental wise. So in that case, you have to procure the aggregators. Okay.
Okay.
Then finally, we have one more component in Guardium, that is called as the central manager. Okay. So central manager is nothing; it's just an aggregator. The only difference between both of them that we uh, elevates the privilege of aggregator as a central manager. Okay.
Elevation, can you just
Like the role of the aggregator is now is central manager. Okay. Suppose
okay.
you have an account. Okay. So you can work you your account can work as an audit purpose. But if I assign a role of admin, then you becomes administrator, right?
Okay.
Similarly, aggregator is like central manager is an aggregator. The only thing we assigned a role of CM to an aggregator, then it becomes a central manager. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the primary job of central manager is to like for user access management, policy management, and all those patch management as well. Okay. So
Okay.
all these appliances can be managed centrally with the help of this central manager. All right.
Okay.
So this is like Guardian follows the top to down approach. This is like central manager is on top, then aggregator, collector, and then we have step agent and the gimbal. All right.
Yes.
Now there are few more components you can see. Like this is SIEM. Not sure whether you are aware about it, but this is like SIEM is a technology, and we have multiple vendors available in market like CUDA, ArcSight, IBM CUDA, ArcSight, Splunk. So these are the SIEM is like it is responsible for generating the real-time alerts. Okay, Nancy, are you there? Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let me brief this one as well. So what happens, like you are capturing traffic, and like that's a huge in size, okay? And that includes multiple types of commands, DDL, DML, DSL, every type of commands are storing in the collectors. But it
Okay.
is not feasible for you to see all those commands on the Guardian GUI, because like they are coming in a bulk, okay? So in a
Okay.
second, you have hundreds of commands running, okay? So that's
Okay.
not feasible. So what we do, we integrate this Guardian with any of the SIEM solution. Okay.
Okay.
So here on SIEM solution, we created rules, and on basis of those rules, we got the incidents. Okay. Let
Okay.
me give you an example. Suppose there is an DBA who fires a select command on any of the particular data, right?
Okay. Okay.
So you collect with the help of collector, you collect that particular command in your environment. Now, what you do if you have SIEM in your environment, you will create an alert. It is like if someone runs and select command, an incident will generate. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a team, there is a proper, like big enterprises always have a team to manage this SIM solution. So they regularly monitors all those alerts, not only for Guardian, like whatever tools you have in environment that definitely integrates with the SIM solution. Okay.
Okay.
So then there they do that particular task, that when there is a command or incident occurs, they will ask the DBA that what they are doing on that particular data, that why select command is fired and why it is like running so long. So those are the use cases we generally follow. All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Okay. Now there is one more thing, encrypted file transfer. This is file server data archives. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens, like, see, each appliance has some fixed memory, right? Is it
Mhm.
is it not like that you can store a data of 10 TB, then you can store like increase to 20 TB? It is not possible, especially with Guardian, because once when we deploy the Guardian, it has fixed memory size. Whatever we allocate in the starting of the deployment, that is going to be fixed forever. Okay, you can't
Okay.
change the, like, it is not feasible that you put a hard disk in the Guardian appliances and your memory size will be increased. So it is not like that. So what happens, that you have a fixed memory size that you can hold up to like 1 TB data or 500 GB data. All right.
Okay.
So suppose what happens, like if I have a limit, then definitely I can store a data up to like 10 days or 20 days or 60 days. Correct? If you have data, like suppose you have data for 15 days and its size is around 500 GB, then the space of the collector will be full. Correct? And
Okay.
your collector will goes down. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what we do, we integrate this Guardian with one of the file server, so that we regularly transfer all those data, past data onto this file server. Okay. So there is
Okay.
import, export job running at every time. So we transfer those data from the uh, Guardian to the file server, and we can restore this data when someone asks us to, like, to present the old data. Okay. So this
Okay.
is how we do the, like, retention policy, that whatever your retention policy, on basis of that you will archive your data. Okay.
Okay.
Now this is again a Guardian admin. So whatever, like, data is stored in aggregators, we have customized queries and reports. So on basis of those queries, we generates the reports, and Guardian admin can, or the auditor can see all those reports. All right.
I have a question on file server
Uh,
data. So whenever there is an like export, import, and archive and all that, right?
mhm.
So purge is happening.
Right.
20 days once, like they are purging means
Mhm.
those details will be removed from collector, but it will be it will be it will be in file server, right?
Right, 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 right. You
Okay.
are purging the data on collectors, but not from the file server. So file server always have the data. But again, you have to decide that for how long you can store the data on file server. If you have, like, you have enough space size that you can store data up to, like, for 5 years as well. But
Mhm.
if you have, like, small space, you have a space crunch, then you can, like, this will be decided by your higher management, that up to how
Okay.
long data you required. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So on basis of that, we have file servers. Okay.
Okay. What kind of it stores all the traffic or what kind of
Whatever is stored in the collector. Okay. So
okay.
generally there is two type of data. The first one is the configuration data and the database traffic. Okay. So configuration traffic is the
Configuration you're saying.
uh,
Configuration you're saying?
yeah, configuration.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So configuration is a small chunk of space, right? But
Mm.
the data size is always the bigger one. So we store both type of data on this file server. When we send the archive file, so it has both the configuration data as well as the data what is stored in the collector. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Uh, then there is one more thing, that we have integrated LDAP. So this is the mechanism that how we manage the user access management through the Guardian. Okay. If we have LDAP integration, then whatever the policy you have set on the AD servers, then again Guardian users have the same policy. Okay.
AD servers manages the users.
Yeah. No. So
User.
Guardian has like it can manage the user accesses, but for authentication purpose, we use the LDAP. Like it depends on you. You can locally onboard the users as well, and generally the environments have the AD servers. Okay, so we can use the AD server as well, or we can use the Radius, and there are multiple functions are available. But
Sorry, I don't understand the AD server part.
okay,
What
okay.
AD server does?
Okay, so AD server called as the Active Directory. So what
Okay.
happens in your environment, you have some username and password for logging into the corporate environment, the Cognizant environment, right?
Yes, right.
Right. So what we do, we integrate this Guardian with your AD server. So AD servers are responsible for creating your accesses on the on your corporate resources.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So like yeah, you have timesheet. Okay. You have multiple resources are there in your environment. So initially you have to log into your PC, your system, and that can be done with the help of AD server. You have some username and you have some password, and you don't have any control of those username and password. Correct? You can't change your username. You can't change your password. Like you change it, but again, username is the fixed one. Correct? So
Yes.
there is a team called as Wintel team, Windows team, platform team, which manages this AD server. Okay, so this is just an authentication mechanism. Just I'll
Okay.
brief you, but just for now, just understand this is an authentication mechanism. So
Okay.
as you authenticate in your corporate environment with the username password, similarly you need authentication for logging into the Guardian appliances as well,
Mm.
right? So that either you can do locally, that you create username passwords locally onto these machines, or you can integrate your environment with any of the AD server. Okay.
Okay.
So whatever username password you have currently for logging to this your system, the same will be implies for these appliances as well. Okay. So
Okay.
I will tell you that what's the benefit of integrating with AD servers and what's the demerits. Okay, so that we will cover that part also. Now,
Okay.
this is how the Guardian monitors the traffic, and this is like all about the database DAM solution. Okay, database activity monitoring. Now, there is a question comes that apart from this DAM activity, Guardian can do some more functions that are called as vulnerability assessment and configuration or audit system. Okay, so I
Okay.
think you
Okay.
are keen to know about those things, right? Vulnerability assessment.